What is up, everybody? Tonight we are going to take care of all the animals. So I know everybody's been dying for some greenhouse updates and pond updates, and I promise they're coming soon. But yeah, I ordered the heat pump to get the pond heated, and I didn't realize it was going to take like a month for them to ship it to me, but it just shipped today, so we should have that very soon. But I can't really do much with the pond until I get it heated. So right now the water is just too cold for any of the plants or fish that I want. So yeah, we'll get that installed soon, get that all heated and ready to go, and then we're going to be working on, in the next week or so probably, start working on the boardwalk for the greenhouse. So I'll do a video on that. That's going to be really cool. And then this weekend is Christmas, so I'm not really going to have time. I'm going to be doing stuff with family. So yeah, we are going to take care of the animals. Going to give you an idea of what we do just on like a day-to-day basis to take care of these animals. It's not that bad, but it's definitely a little bit more work than I think most people think it is. And then we're going to do a water change on the aquarium and show you the new fish we got. So let's start by getting the water ready for the aquarium. I guess, yeah, you're here. I might as well show you. If you watched the last video, I was obsessing over these Fogo bass at the waterfront. We bought them. So one of them was already sold, so I bought the 3 that were left, which is perfect because that's what I wanted was 3. So these guys are doing awesome. They're little monsters, eat like crazy. Stingray's doing awesome. Everybody's doing really good in here. But let's do a water change. So I've mentioned in the past I use RO water. Mix it up in here. It's probably not. Okay, we're still situating from moving in, you know, so bear with me. This eventually is my water filters. It's going to be all mounted on the wall. Everything's going to be all nice, but until then, this is my setup. I just have my 2 brute trash can bins, and then I got a heater and power head in each one. And yeah, there's a lot of reasons why I use RO water. I like using RO water. It's not necessary for fresh water, but since I already had the filter from my saltwater tanks, I might as well use it. It doesn't hurt anything, and it makes things easier for me. Well, it doesn't really make things easier, actually. It makes it a pain to do water changes and really complicates it. So if you just have a normal freshwater aquarium, I would not worry about doing RO water. These things spill water everywhere. But yeah, I like using it. So if you want me to go into the reasons why I use it, let me know in the comments, and I'll do that in another video. But yeah, so RO water. You cannot just do water changes with pure RO water because it doesn't have any GH, general hardness, or KH, doesn't have any alkalinity to buffer pH, and the pH is super low. So you got to mix some stuff in. Let me grab it real quick. So I got all messing with the dog. Okay, so I got all this stuff. I'm not going to the details on this because I'm far from an expert, but basically I use CChem products. They work for me. So I use Replenish. That puts the general hardness back in it, so like trace elements, minerals, and stuff like that. I'm not going to go into the amounts that I use because it's on a kind of as needed basis, and I run a pretty low pH acidic tank with a very soft water, so your setup will probably be different than mine. But I put this in first. Like I said, that restores GH, trace elements, and minerals. Then got my little scale spoon over here. I put my alkaline buffer in, and that raises the KH, but it also raises the pH. So I use the alkaline buffer. I weigh it out, that way I'm doing the same amount every time, and I kind of know what's working. Like I said, I'm not going to go into detail on the amounts that I use for everything, because I had a lot of trial and error getting here, and I screwed up the pH in the tank a few times, so I'm not recommending to do it this way, but I've got it all dialed in for me, and it works great. One of the things I like about using RO water is it doesn't come with nitrates and phosphates that are already in the tap water that I use. And since I have a heavy bioload tank that I feed very heavily, it's nice to start out with like a clean slate, so I'm not fighting nitrates and phosphates like crazy in my tank. Because this is one water change. So this is about a 50% water change of my total water volume of the tank. And I do that twice a week. So a lot of water changing to keep this water good. That's pretty much what I do to keep the nitrates down and under control. And then this is the other thing I use. So I use the alkaline buffer. It raises your KH, but also raises your pH, which is fine for most people, but I want to run a somewhat low pH tank, so I use this acid buffer also. And I will say I do not use this in the amounts that like they really recommend on this. I had to do a lot of trial and error to figure out what worked for my tank. So if you're going to do it, you are going to have to kind of figure it out on your own, or look up other people's videos. Once I feel like I have a better understanding of it, then maybe I'll make a video on it. But until then, I'm not giving out advice on something that I'm barely figuring out myself, you know? So I'll pretty much mix that in. Give that a little rinse. Wipe it off on my shirt because I'm a slob. And then, Zeppelin's favorite thing to do, Zeppelin's the dog by the way, is just lay. Wherever I'm working, whatever I'm doing, he will literally just lay right in the way and refuse to move because I'm not giving him attention. He gets mad when I'm making videos because I'm giving the camera attention instead of him. He gets all mopey. Zeppelin, see, look at him. Just pretends to be sad to get attention.
Does it work though?
It doesn't work great, you know. Sometimes it actually does work. I'm a softie when it comes to old Zeppy. Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy. See, look, he's not even gonna wag his tail. Cold shoulder. Yeah, so like I said, I got a power head in here. I probably need to get some bigger ones so it mixes it better. So I just give it a little manual stirring. This is a Zach Porritt patented technique. So I just let that mix up for a minute. While that is mixing, we will go take care of all the rest of the animals. So we got Scrubby up here, the empty cage right here, and Kitty. So this is my supply closet. Come grab my little mister bottle. Ooh, I was so tempted to just spray you. And then pump this up. Zeppelin loves the water. See, he's like, ooh, someone's doing something over here. Better come lay over here in the way. That's okay. So I just kind of check the tanks. I check their water, make sure the water dish is still clean. Look for any poops or anything. There's a little bit of pee right there, so I'm gonna get that out. Normally I just put on gloves and then just grab it out, but since it's just a little chunk, I'll just pull it out with a paper towel. And also, for those that don't know, I hook train my snakes. So retics especially have like a super aggressive feeding response. Kitty's not horrible, but she is bad. She's a super nice, awesome snake. She never bites, never acts aggressive at all. But if you just reach in there, most snakes will assume they're being fed and you might get snatched. And she's a big girl, so I don't really want to get bit by her. So you can see her little head poking out. Watch out, Zep. Watch out, buddy. So watch, let's get the dog back out of the way. Watch out. But see, if I just open this. See, sometimes if she's hungry, she'll just kind of come flying out at me. She's being pretty cool right now, but she might just not see me too. She might just be sleeping. So before I go sticking my hands in there and not paying attention, I always get a snake hook and just gently touch her. See, and that's all it takes. That kind of just lets her know that you're not being fed. I'm going to be in the tank doing some stuff. It's just me. So once I do that, she chills out and she won't bite me. Sometimes she'll just go hide. Sometimes she'll come out and try to pester me while I'm cleaning. Also, when they pee like that, even if it's just a little chunk, there's liquid that comes out too, especially with the retics. They pee a lot. So I always got to make sure that I get as much of the wet stuff as I can too, you know. Just because you're picking up a little bit of solid stuff doesn't mean that you're cleaning it. There still could be substrate just soaked in pee. And this is just my spot cleaning that I do daily. And then once a month or so, I switch out all the substrate in the whole cage, which is a pain for this big cage. That's pretty much all. Her water dish looks good. I don't see any other poops in there. So we'll give it a mist. And this cage doesn't hold humidity nearly as well, so I have to mist the crap out of it every day. One of these days we're gonna have to build her like some awesome, cool, extravagant cage with branches to climb on and stuff. Also, you see that I'm mostly misting this side. This is because I run heat panels. This is the hot side of the cage. This is the ambient side of the cage. So I mostly mist the hot side because that's the side that dries out, and then the heat panel basically evaporates all the water and creates all the humidity. If I just mist the wet side all the time, that side will just stay soaked. So the wet side will get wet enough from the humidity created from the hot side. So that is it for her today. We'll close this up. I'll just double check, make sure my locks are locked, you know, because I don't really want her getting out during the day while I'm gone and destroying this whole room. And then this is Scrubby. So Scrubby, her cage stays a lot more humid, so I'll just give it a slight misting. Ooh. She's also a lot spicier when she's in the cage than Kitty, and I do see some poops right back there where she's at, which luckily for you guys means I got a pretty good chance of getting bit today. She does not, if I just touch her with the hook, she doesn't just calm down like Kitty. I'm going to touch her with the hook and then she'll still bite me until I have her out. As soon as she's out of the cage, she's pretty cool. I don't know if you guys can see right now, but she definitely wants to bite me today, I can tell. See, when she's all posed up like that, she'll definitely strike and bite. And she's a fast striker and super accurate, so she always goes right for the chest and face, which I hate. But as soon as I can get her kind of going on the run, then she's fine. But see, right now she's like, her whole body is a big S shape, so she is ready to strike. It doesn't look like it. She looks small, but she could, if I didn't have this stick in the way right here, she could for sure get my hand from where she's at. And honestly, again, she has a small head. Getting bit by her really doesn't hurt that bad. It kind of feels like someone's smacking me with Velcro, but I still don't want to do it, especially not in the face. And I try to avoid stressing her out. Basically, the more negative interactions you have with an animal, the more negative they are going to be in the future. So I don't like to make them strike and bite me for attention and stuff. If it happens, it happens, but I like to have as many positive interactions with them as possible. Gosh, this is going to be a pain. Yeah, she's in a mood today. See, look how she coils up like that. She's got like a full bend. She's got like 3 full bends in her body. Scrub pythons can strike so far and so accurately. It's crazy. And she's smart too. Like right now she knows I'm trying to get her off. See, she just flipped around on me. Most snakes, if I mess with them like this, they just jump off the stick. But she knows I'm trying to get her off the stick, so she's being stubborn and doing the opposite. This is the other thing people need to think about when you get snakes that have a chance of being aggressive, or if you get, some snakes have personalities, you know, even though most retics are nice, some of them aren't. So if you get an aggressive snake, you have to deal with it to take care of them, you know. You can't just because it's mean not take care of it. So this is something I have to deal with every day. Like I said, she's amazing once she's out, but I know she's aggressive in the cage. Or she's not, I guess not aggressive, I'd call it defensive. But yeah, so don't get, if you're just getting into snakes, don't jump into massive pythons that could really do damage and hurt you, you know? Because, yeah, you can't just ignore it if it's mean. They still have to be taken care of. See, look at that, she's coming out. Now the tongue's flicking a lot faster, a lot more, so she's getting more curious. She's being pretty cool now. Now she most likely will not bite me, but it's still possible. So, now that she's calmed down, get her little poops out. Okay, so everything else looks good. Her water's got a little bit of stuff in it, so I'll probably just do a full cleaning on all the water dishes in the next couple days. So I'm kind of going to leave it right now. But see if she wants to say hi. She just ate the other day, so I don't want to mess with her too much. So, same thing with her cage. Her on the hot side on that side, cool side on this side. So, I will mist this side. See, look at her getting ready to strike at me again. In her cage, I don't got to mist nearly as much. Just because, like I said, it holds humidity better. So that is plenty for her cage. So we close her up. Ooh, did you see that? She looks like she's clear in the back, but she could easily get me right in the face. She just struck the glass right here. It's right where my face is, but she's still awesome. Still love her even if she hates me sometimes. But so that is pretty much it for the snakes on a day-to-day basis. Snakes are probably one of the easiest animals to care for. Then we got all the vivariums over here. So I was going to do an animal tour soon, but I've been waiting because I want to really upgrade everything. This whole room down here, actually, I want to do a really cool upgrade. So let's talk about it real quick. I want to redo all the vivariums. I want to build my own from glass, get custom glass cut. I want to use, like they do in Troy Goldberg's Tropical Garage, like how he builds his. I think they look really slick, so I want to try my hand at it and see if I can build some cool ones. And then I think I want to do a big custom plant wall here. So all the way along this wall, a big living plant wall with cool lights and stuff. And I want to get a custom Life Exotic sign down here. I want to really start making it cool. Right now it's just functional, but it's not that cool. So I will give like a better, more in-depth update once I get it where I like it. So these guys, I just kind of check. The hognose, same thing. This is his vivarium. Nothing too fancy. Kind of check for poops and stuff. But you can see all those cool little tunnels back there. And then yeah, if needed, change his water, fill it back up. And then this is just my daily maintenance. Weekly, I do a lot more. I take all the water dishes, clean them, sanitize them, refill them, do like a deep cleaning, trim plants. But this is just what I do on a weekly basis. Lychee cage, see if he took any big poops that need to be cleaned up. I do not see anything. You know if he took big poops because you can smell it. He's a stinky animal. And see, I got his little food cup that he did not eat last night. So we will go clean this out, but I will do that in a minute because you guys don't need to see me clean the cup. And then this is the blue day gecko vivarium. He's hiding back there. I gotta be real careful opening this one because he got out for a while. Honestly, it took us like a week to find him and get him back in here, so I don't want to risk losing him. But everything looks good in this one. He's got a little cup of Pangea up there. I'll leave that for a day or two. But I can't see the bottom's actually filling up with water. So that means last weekend I probably forgot to drain this vivarium. So I'm going to do that real quick. So I've got to drain these vivariums. All the vivariums drain into this bin right here. This is a temporary setup, like I said, guys. It's really ugly down here. I just built these sliding doors to hide it, honestly, but soon it's going to be all cool. I'm going to have little plant propagation shelves. Everything's going to be organized better. When I set up the new vivariums, I'm going to have the custom ones, custom fogging system. It's all going to be really neat and organized and cool. So for now, just ignore it. But yeah, this one has its own little drain hose. So I just open this up. Drains out all the fart water. Water stinks. And then this one, oh no. Oh no, guys. Oh no. Oh man. I'll have to drain this one with the small thing. Alright, draining that one with the big hose didn't work, so I'm going to do it with the small hose. That is like the grossest water to get in your mouth too. I swear, when I get my new setup, I'm going to have a whole better way to do this, so I can just turn a valve and drain it. So this one takes forever to drain, so I'll let it drain. This one is done. So I'm going to slap this hose back in there for now. And then we'll just leave this over here to drain for a while. And just so you know, that's from the misting system. The misting system goes and water builds up in this drainage layer in the vivariums, and it needs to be drained out. If you just let water pool up, the soil will just be saturated. It'll rot all your plants, you know. So you have to have drainage in them for them to work good. Especially, I missed a lot. So, okay. So, anyways, this guy, nothing really to go on other here. He's small. The insects clean up all the poop for me. Same with this one over here. This is the 3 dart frogs, and then the 1 red-eyed tree frog. So, not a whole lot to do on daily maintenance. Just feed these guys basically. So, I guess let's do that. So those guys, the gecko and the dart frogs, eat fruit flies. So I got my little cup here. And then I got my Reptile Calcium Plus. Do a little spritz into that. Grab one of my fruit fly cultures. That one doesn't have very many. So I'll use this one. This one's starting to die off, so hopefully my other fruit fly cultures start taking off. I have a bad habit of waiting until the last minute to create new cultures. So I'm like always fighting it. I need to be better about that, set reminders on my phone or something. So you just shake those around in the calcium, get them all covered. And then, this guy, like I said, he can get out really easy. So let's see if you can see him. He's on the back log there.
I don't think we saw him, but it's okay.
Oh. But yeah, so I just sprinkle a few in there. He's also eating that cup of Pangea, so I won't give him very much today. And then these guys will get a little bit, but not a lot, because I fed them a ton the last couple days. So I just sprinkle these in there. And then also, I gotta feed the red-eye tree frog. So, get some more calcium in the cup. And then we got our cricket containers, which I hate crickets, guys. They're stinky, they're gross, they're a pain, they die fast, but that's what he eats. So, oh my god, and they always get out. See, this is realistic animal care, guys. You're seeing what really happens. Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. I'm sure there's easier ways to do this. I need to start putting like paper towel tubes in here so they all go in the tube, then I can just shake it out. But, you know, what do you do? Oh my gosh. This is like the hoppinest little cricket. Alright, so I just take like 3 or 4 usually. Every day, every other day. Kind of just whatever works. Get them dusted in the calcium. And then we just plop them in here. The red-eye tree frog's nocturnal, so he'll come out at night and eat them. Then, while I'm in here, you see the cricket's got this little food bowl. I make sure they have food, and then this dish is full of water crystals, and it dries out. So every day I have to spray some water into there. That's the fastest thing that'll kill the crickets. If they don't have a good source of water, they will die fast. So every day I make sure to rehydrate their crystals, and then every week or so when I buy new crickets, I clean all the dishes out and put new food, new crystals and everything in it. So that is pretty much it for this stuff. We've got these aquariums over here, but they got nothing in them right now. So, yeah, nothing I really need to do with them. I'll let that drain, and then we can get back to aquarium stuff. Alright, so another part of doing the water changes with the RO is I am paranoid about the stingray. I had a scare one time, so I make sure to pH match it. So if the pH in the RO water is lower than the aquarium, I can put more of the alkalinity buffer. If it's too high, I can put more of the acid buffer. I want to match it before I do the water change, especially since I do such a big water change. I don't want to do like a 50-60% water change and cause a huge pH swing. So I got my API test kit here. We'll test pH in the aquarium real quick, double check what it is, and then test the water change water. And I do this twice a week, so. This is a super easy test to do. God, did I jump like an idiot? Look at that, oh my god. See, I can't even get water to do a test. The arowana are too mean. So yeah, fill this up. Put my little 3 drops in here. And then you want to find some bright lighting. I use the light right next to this plant cabinet. And compare it there. So, I don't know, you probably can't see it very good on video. But that's saying the pH is about 6.8 or 7. So I just want to double check and make sure the water change water is the same. like I said, I do things the most difficult way possible. Like, this is really not necessary for freshwater aquariums. I'm not saying I recommend doing this. I'm literally just showing you guys how I actually do things. So definitely not needed, but this is what I like and what is currently working for me. So look at that. See, I've got it pretty dialed in. I'd say that's about 6.8 or 7-ish. Pretty much identical. I mean, I guess I can just hold the two tubes up next to each other. You can see those are the same exact color. So that is good. Let me go rinse these out real quick and then get this all put away, and then we'll start the water change. Alright, so we're ready to do the water change. The water is all good. By the way, the water is all preheated. I don't know if I said that, but it has to be temperature matched also. So you guys probably can't see, but I come down under here, turn off my return pump and my heaters. It gets really loud, makes a bunch of fart noises for a minute. So while that does that, I get everything else ready. Pretty much got my nice little setup here. Stick this in here. Then I unroll this. And then I got this little drain in here by my furnace. So it's gross looking. Ignore that, but boom. I just run the water into there. So it takes a while for this to drain. So while it's draining, or I guess I can explain to you one thing. How I know how far to drain it, because I have the water that's in those bins, right? So I got to know exactly how much to drain it. You probably can't see, but I got little marks over here. So I know the top of this piece of tape is 1 bin. This one is 1.5 bins. And then this little mark down here is 2 bins. So I'm doing the full 2 bins. I want to drain the water all the way to there, which is about here. Seems super low, but like I said, it's 50% water change, and that's including the volume of the sump. But anyways, they're all scared now. But I was telling you guys I got the new fish, right? So I got the 3 Fogo bass in here now, and I got rid of the other 2 bass. The one was just outgrowing the other. They're starting to be super aggressive with each other. So I sold them to some buddies of mine, and got these 3 guys. So this is the group I'm going to have for now. I'm probably not going to get any new fish until these guys are all introduced to the pond. And I'm really not going to get that much more fish than this in the pond because I want it super lightly stocked. But yeah, I don't know, it's going to take a while to drain, so let's get this draining, and then once it's ready to go, I'll show you what we do the rest of the time. So I know this is a little bit more of a boring video, guys, but like I said, we're waiting on stuff at the greenhouse. I figured while we're at it, I want to shoot a video to show everybody what it actually takes to take care of all these animals. Like I said, this is a regular weekday after I get home from work. Sometimes I get home from work at 6 o'clock at night, 7 o'clock at night. I have to do this no matter what. I can't just not take care of the animals. So you see everybody's YouTubes and stuff, or Instagrams, whatever, where they got these amazing rooms full of animals. What you don't see is how much work it goes into properly taking care of those animals. So really think about it before you get into them. It really does overwhelm your life pretty quickly. But I love it and enjoy it. I wouldn't trade it for anything. So if you want to do it, do it. It's awesome. Especially all these cool animals and fish. Wouldn't trade them for a thing. But just remember, it takes a lot of work. So like I said, this is a regular weeknight. I don't do a water change every night. I pretty much do them Sundays and Wednesdays. And then this is my middle of the week one, my Wednesday one. So this one is literally just going to be a change of water. Just put the water out, put the new water in, not a big deal. But on Sundays, I do the water change. I clean all the glass. I clean the stick if needed. I clean the back if needed. And then I alternate. Like every other Sunday, I'll clean all the sand. I almost said gravel. But I'll like vacuum all the sand and then re-push it around, you know, make sure stuff's not building up in there. And then every 2 weeks to sometimes every month when I put it off. Now I need to start for sure doing it every 2 weeks. But I'll clean all the biomedia. So I'll fill up a couple buckets with water, take all the bags of biomedia out and rinse them really good, and then put them back in. I noticed since I got the bass, the tank has been slightly foggy, and I can see little particles floating around. So I think I definitely need to clean the biomedia this weekend, but I don't want to do that for a video. I don't want to be rushed. I want to be able to take my time and clean all the detritus out of the sump and stuff. So yeah, this weekend I think I'm going to take all the biomedia out, rinse it really good, and then below the biomedia I think I'm going to put a huge layer of polyfill, because other than the filter sock and the filter roller, I don't have any other mechanical filtration. So I think that layer of polyfill will help clear the water up a little bit, because it used to be crystal clear. But yeah, my nitrates are good, everything's good. Oh, that's the other thing I do on Sundays usually. At least once a week I usually test the whole tank for ammonia, nitrite, nitrates, and pH. So that way I know if my nitrates every week are going up a little bit, I either have too many fish or I'm not doing enough water changes, you know. If they're going down a little bit, then I could do less water changes and stop wasting so much water, you know. But right now, pretty much 250% water changes allows me to feed the amount I like to feed to keep these fish healthy. So you can see it takes a while to drain. Normally I sit here and work on YouTube videos or Instagram or whatever while it's doing this, and then sometimes forget and drain too much water out and get really mad at myself, but usually I'm pretty good about it. But yeah, that's what it takes to take care of animals, guys. So think about it before you get animals. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel, because like I said, the heater's coming for the pond soon. And I know I've had a lot of people asking me about how I'm going to heat the pond, so you definitely want to see that. It's really cool. It's super efficient. And then we're building the boardwalk soon. We're starting to get stuff ready for plants. I'm going to start saturating all the soil. So subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned. We'll get back when this water is drained out. Okay, so that is it. It's about all the water I want to drain out. They don't like it when the water's this low. You know, you got to do what you got to do. So then, grab my pump. Grab the water hose. I don't even move nothing. I just hook the pump up to it. Drop her in here. And then I unplug all the power heads and heaters. And it pumps it right back in the tank. So that is my super easy system, not easy system of doing water changes, but it works for me. So we let this fill all the way back up, turn everything back on. Pretty simple, but like I said,
Zeppelin. Move.
oh, is he sitting on the hose? He always does that. He goes and sits right on the hose. But hey buddy, we still love you anyways. Yeah, that is it for this. I just wanted to show you guys what it takes to take care of the animals. And yeah, thank you for watching. Make sure you are subscribed to the channel. I'm telling you, we're going to build a killer plant wall right here. It's going to get really cool down here. And then we're going to be getting a lot of stuff done on the greenhouse. We just got to get Christmas and everything passed, and then we'll be back to working on everything as normal. Zeppelin. Yeah! Yeah! This does a stretch. Come here. Yeah. The frumpiest dog sometimes. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. That is it. Stay tuned. We'll get another video out next weekend. I'm working on some stuff at the greenhouse or some stuff here, depending on how it all plays out.